get to the personnel on the field for this game. Kyle Hamilton is a consensus All-American exceptional safety. Right out of the gate against Florida State, he showed his worth, and then on through the season. For anyone who watched that game, watched the Wisconsin game, I can think of amazing plays that he made in that game against the Badgers. Kyren Williams, top running back for the last few seasons, he's not going to play. So, Nathan, where do we stand in regards to those two guys and their replacements?
Well, with Kyle Hamilton, it's a little less murky. I mean, he's been out since, I think, he got hurt during the USC game. So it's been about 6 or so weeks since he's even played in a Notre Dame uniform. And it was pretty much known that if they didn't make the college football playoff, that he was probably going to be an opt-out, just with him being a likely top 5, top 10 pick. So Notre Dame has kind of had their safeties under control for a while, and they've actually developed pretty nicely over the last, like 5 to 6 weeks. A converted wide receiver, Xavier Watts, and then also Ramon Henderson, who moved over from like slot corner to safety. Those two guys are going to control probably the free safety spot for Notre Dame. I think that's the 2 deep there. And then you have Houston Griffith and DJ Brown, who have been in the Notre Dame program for several years now, and Brown and Griffith have kind of traded off as starting safeties this year, depending on the team and the matchup and stuff like that. So I think that technically the listed starters are Ramon Henderson and Houston Griffith on the depth chart, but you're going to see plenty of Xavier Watts and plenty of DJ Brown. So Chris O'Leary, the first-time safeties coach for Notre Dame, I think has done a really, really good job getting that stabilized with the injury to Kyle Hamilton, and then obviously now with the opt-out of Kyle Hamilton. At running back, it's not really too murky either. I mean, Logan Diggs is a true freshman who's gotten a decent amount of playing time this year and has done well with that playing time. He's sort of taken over the number 2 the number 2 running back role with Chris Tyree being injured at times this year. Sibo Flemister, I don't know if he was really suspended or if he got hurt or whatever it was, but he hasn't really played for Notre Dame a whole lot. And so Logan Diggs looks like he's the future number 1, moving forward, and a really, really good running back at that. Showed a lot of promise. But then Chris Tyree's a home run threat, can play the slot as well. So you're probably looking at those 2 guys and maybe a little bit of another true freshman in Audric Estime. Might get some playing time in the bowl game as well, and certainly moving forward next year and beyond.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, and I think that it's Fiesta Bowl or not playing on this. Just a tip of the cap to Kyle Hamilton and Kyren Williams, because they might not have national titles next to their name ultimately on their resumes of what they did in Notre Dame uniforms. But I'll be damned if you don't look at the running backs of Notre Dame. The last, really, you can put Julius Jones in that conversation, and then you're going all the way back. And I know that Autry Denson's the all-time leading rusher in Notre Dame history, but you're going back all the way to the days of Jerome Bettis and Reggie Brooks, since you saw a running back that was as capable and as good as Kyren Williams. He's not the fastest guy in the world. He's not going to blaze with a 40 time necessarily, but I mean, it's like watching a gymnast run is what it is with him. It's his balance is so incredible. And it's just, you think that there's so many different times that, okay, he's going down here, he's going down there, but the combination of his strength and his balance made him a truly great running back for the last 2 years for this team. And Kyle Hamilton, his resume speaks for itself. I think everybody nationally saw that play he made against Florida State, the second interception of the game in the opener this year. For those that didn't get to watch Notre Dame or don't watch Notre Dame on a regular basis the last 2 years, not to say that that was necessarily the norm, because that was ridiculous, but you got used to just when you try to describe, like, what is a football instinct? What does this mean when a guy has football instincts? I don't know. I think Ed Reed, I think Troy Polamalu from years past, Kyle Hamilton, in terms of college players, has exactly that, of sniffing plays out on 4th down, knowing exactly where things are going. And I mean, this is a guy that, as a true freshman, he might not have technically started, but there were multiple game plans his freshman year that were designed solely around him and the importance of him. And yeah, he's, I don't want to say necessarily generational talents, but talents like that don't come around. Talents don't like that don't come around in the secondary at Notre Dame and very often. He's an all-timer.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I I hate like the cliches and stuff like that in regards to, being, the best safety prospect of all time and different things like that. But, I don't think you've seen a safety prospect since Sean Taylor in regards to, someone being as good as Kyle Hamilton. I think he's that special of a talent. And he's somewhat of a unicorn in regards to his talent level as well, being 6'4", 220. He's probably going to run a 4.4 if he runs the 40 at the combine. I don't know exactly how healthy his knee is right now. I'm sure it's close to 100%, but no, he's certainly in the Jalen Smith, Manti Te'o category when it comes to just being a great Notre Dame player. And I think he might even be a better athlete than Jalen Smith, but pre-injury, which was certainly saying a lot.